Good evening, guys. Today is gonna be the quick promo for the A321 Pro line, Blue Sky Star Simulation sound pack, which will come out after the stream. So in this flight, we'll fly a short flight from Tampa to Fort Lauderdale International Airport with this A321. It's gonna take probably 35 to 40 minutes. The whole flight, we're not gonna go that high, just about to 25,000 or so. Yeah, and this short flight I will try to cover as much as possible for the upcoming sound pack. Of course, keep in mind that on a stream, and the stream does kill the quality of the sounds, and in your speakers or your headphones you will hear much better story always. To me, I recommend to use the speaker monitors for the best sound solution. I personally have Rocket 6 monitors, like studio monitors, but the headphones will do as well. But just to expect a really nice quality of sound, you should have good hardware as well, as far as speakers or headphone. The rest of it does not change any performance on your computer, of course, just the sounds. But we have around 600 plus sounds authentically recorded from real stuff, real A321. Multiple flights, recording in the cockpit, outside, internally, externally, etc. Okay, hello everybody who's joining. Okay, as I proceed, I will do my best to show you all the features that is out here, but keep in mind, remember that 600 sounds, I might forget some of those, but it's good for you because when you will fly, you'll discover new sounds in this model. Okay. Alright, so let's we're currently in a ramp, cold and dark. I don't say cold, it's pretty hot in Florida, so we'll go ahead and power up. As soon as I put the batteries on behind the circuit breakers panel, you'll hear the contactors clicking. And that thumb side sound is the contactors coming in. Alright, and I'm just gonna double check the gear down, the wipers are off, the musters are off, and parking brake set. Alright, go ahead and GPU. Same contactors, checking in. You'll hear the 400 hertz electrical hum, and the ECS, the air cooling for the avionics coming in and self-testing. So it's gonna be off and on, kind of louder and quieter as it cycles through the modes. Before it actually kicks in. Alright. In real A321, we have to wait around a minute of not doing anything, not pressing any buttons for the self-test of the aircraft, while all the systems come in around 40 seconds to 1 minute. And as soon as we put the power on, let's unlock the door. There's door mechanism you can also hear behind, and a door opening sound as well. So if we come out here, I just want you guys to give me a hint on how we are on the volume. Do you guys hear everything? My voice? The A321, should we put anything down? Should we put anything up? And as well, if we come out the door, you can hear the inlet for avionics cooling. It's the sound right here. if we go out here, it's it dies out. I'll take a walk through the cabin, and then the high pitch electrical hum you hear right now is it's coming from an E&E bay. You probably get used to this while flying as a passenger. Some aircraft have it a little bit louder, some not, depending on the systems, on the age, and you know, just technical mechanical stuff. But here you hear that electrical hum. It's transformers, rectifiers, and stuff. I like that in E&E bay. The sync can go up a little bit, it's quiet compared to voice. Maybe because nothing quite going on yet. Let's see what I can do. I don't want to be too loud. How about this? Better? Okay. I'll how about now? You can hear the aft galley equipment working, such as toilet fans and stuff like that. Perfect. Okay. Let me show you something more. As we walk through, like I said, you hear the E&E bay sounds for electrical hum. Thank you for heads up. And as well, the cabin fans are working as well. Those are automatic. Okay. You guys can hear it here. And the cockpit. Alright. Check. Alright. Okay, so let me show you a few things here. Of course, all the switches, buttons, levers, selectors, knobs, everything you can push-pull, everything that works, it has its own sound, as well as stuff like even here, for example, if you go ahead and move this selector, every position has its own sound, unique. You better hear it without, of course, the avionic fans, but oh well. Well, let me tell you something about avionic fans as well. Cabin fans. For example, let's go ahead and kill the blower. Okay, the blower's killed. You hear the a little less of avionic cooling, and as well we can kill the extractor as well. Okay, and that way is real quiet. At some instances when it's cold outside and you need to have a phone call while you're waiting on the ground in cockpit, you can kill those too. Just make sure the extractor works. Cabin fans as well. See, we killed cabin fans, and it become real quiet in cockpit. And out here, the cabin fan's not working anymore. You don't hear that sound. Just the E&E transformer. Yeah. In the back, as well, you don't hear that equipment for lavatory anymore. And if we put it on, it's gonna start coming. It will start eventually. Alright, see it's starting now. As well as the lavatory fans. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and power those too. All these start-stop extractor, blower sounds, and cabin, they're all unique and recorded from real thing. Okay. Now we back. As well as when we come out here, you'll hear the inlet sound and the extractor. All locations of the sounds are real, so it means where they situated in a plane, they will be situated with the sound location. Alright, let's go ahead and power those. Nav logo, no smoking, and emergency alerts. Do the fire test. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring the flat plan in. We're already loaded for the weight and everything. So let's go ahead. Let me show you one more thing. For example, if we would have turned on, you notice how it's quiet here right now. We would have turned on the fuel pumps. Each fuel pump has its own sound, of course, internally and externally. If we go here, you'll hear the fuel pumps now. This is the infamous sound by the wing. Right? And as well as you can hear him from the outside. Alright. Let's turn him off for now. Also, one sound you probably recognize a lot is if we would have turned on the electrical hydraulic pump situated on the ground, I would activate the PTU and also the noise from the from yellow pump. The PTU for this version is really it's really improved. So the PTU will be just exact as in the real world. So you have slow operation, high rate of operation, self-tests and everything. So PTU will sound every time differently. So currently it's kind of in slow operation, as you can hear, as well as the outside. If we were to turn off the PTU, it would stop, of course. And you will just hear the hydraulic pump. Turn it back on. And you hear that thump of the pump initiating and finishing pretty much. Also, out of interest, will you make American products? You see, family, yes. So you see, so it does work randomly how it's supposed to do. Not randomly, I would say the sounds seem random, but it's everything, all the mechanic stuff behind it. So it does what it's supposed to do. This sound pack will be a separate product for A321. It's a Pro line. It currently will include Pratt & Whitney, and then the expansion for $10 for the regular Leap. So it's pretty much there's been a lot of work's been done, a lot of stuff changed. I can't even say it's an update. It's more like a standalone product. So it will, of course, be a standalone pretty much from 1999. And it's not compatible with IAE and CFM versions, so don't try to put it into the CFM IAE, it will not work. A lot of stuff changed, as you can see. Maybe I'll open it here. You can see the systems 2, systems 3. All these sounds on the volume you don't touch, because it could represent other stuff too. And weather, it is not supposed to be just the weather there. There are different sounds there as well. So this is just for technical stuff. The only thing you can touch here is people. It's set at 0 right now, so there's no people on board. But the rest of it, it's tuned for the most realistic and pretty much technical stuff there. So these you don't touch. If you need to put something quieter, just use your Windows volume. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start boarding. Well, actually, let's start APU. As far as outline, that's what I'm doing pretty much here. So I'm showing everything that's been done already. And if you stick around till the end of the stream, you'll find out how it sounds. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start APU. Whenever you start the APU master, it will initiate the contactors behind the wall here, as well as the APU inlet opening. That inlet is opening here, and you can hear it as well when you sit in the last row, one of the last rows of cabin, sort of a little bit. Same thing for the start. You can hear the ignition. The exhaust will be coming out of here, so it will sound as well. If you're in here, you'll hear it starting too. It's in the tail section. And as well, if you're out here, you'll hear it when you come out the door. If you're located in here, you will be able to hear the exhaust. Alright, the APU is started. When you do the bleeds, I'll show you the packs work separately for each. So when you introduce the bleed, if when the pack's turned on, you'll hear the turbines for a pack starting to come on, as well as it's gonna kind of be higher pitch, then it's gonna settle down at 1 rotations per minute. Let me show you. A lot of higher RPM, then it kind of settles down, as you can hear. As well as all of that stuff is from the outside as well. And a second one. Привет, это промо-ролик, я по-английски заступ. Okay, so out here you'll hear more of the turbine for the pack than any place because of the mid wings, and you can hear the AC came on. You probably can smell this sound as well too. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. Like a shutdown sound of the packs. Turbine stopped for the pack turbine, and you can, I mean, different locations it will sound different. For example, if we would have come here, so it's not that pronounced, you know. And the turbine's coming up. Alright, let's go ahead and start loading passengers. It's activated by seatbelt smoking, seatbelt signs. And then you go to the volume thing and put it around like 50 or so. Спасибо. Here the boarding process. Okay, let's go ahead and once the passengers are boarding, let's prepare MCDU. We'll do cost index 35. And Cruise level of 270. Taking off of runway 1001 left. I mean 19 right. I'm sorry. Check out the weather here real fast. Yeah, 260 at 11 gust 20. Yeah, 19 right. And it's going to be again the 8 Sabi transition. And we are arriving into Fort Lauderdale with the 10 left. 10 left. Jingle 6, I believe. Jingle 6 RXN Novia. Close the discounts. Okay. Init Alpha, Init Bravo. 15.9er. And 152.259. No alternate today. The flying res is 4.3 and contingency is 1.7. Extra 1 hour 29 minutes. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll be taking off with let's see, let's check this one out. 1+F Toga up 04. Up 04 and speeds 47.51. Alright, we'll our initial will be $6,000 feet. Let's go ahead and close the cargo door. You'll hear the light pump start activating. As far as atmosphere, I only have, from all of the plugins, I only have X and Vero, nothing else. switch on from external, you'll hear the click. Okay, let's get our checklist and we are ready to roll. Below above the line, before start, cockpit prep complete, gear pins covers removed, signs on auto, 8-year snap. Fuel quantity is 15.9. TL data is 14747.151, 1 up 04 Dogan. Barrel reference. Is 299R7. Seven. Okay, what else I can show you here? Something I might not forget or remember. Tilt above, on. I'll remember during the process. Let me talk about that in some other stream, because I'm trying to do this stream as much as promo as possible, so later people will look at promo, they will only, so we don't waste a lot of time and time of other people. So in all other streams I'll be glad to tell everything about it. Today is just technical stream. Keep in mind. Alright. Let's go ahead and close the doors. Get a better push back. Okay. Let's work out here.
Down to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright. Close the door. Here the door is closing.
Close in the main cabin door and be on our way to Chicago. If you're planning to use a mobile device during flight, I'll give them the time to make sure those devices are set to airplane mode. So before the aircraft can move, everyone
and you hear the lady.
Seatbelts fastened. Tray tables in their upright and locked position. Your camera and items stored in all armors.
So what I'll do is I'll have one engine I'll start from the outside, so you guys can hear the outside of start of the engine, and one I'll start from this position, so you hear APU, I mean PTU and like the bassy sounds. All right.
Down to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Now, the special thing about this Pratt & Whitney aircraft, technical stuff, it has the cooling. It's due to mechanical reasons. The shaft in the engine, when the engine is hot, the hot air comes on top, and it kind of bends a little bit the shaft, as you know. So that what it does, that cooling, it pretty much cools the engine, so it just goes on motoring mode for the amount of time set here, like 108 this minute, 1 minute 8 seconds. Is gonna motoring.
Okay.
It's gonna be motoring without starting.
Ready to connect.
So sometimes this is why those engines get started so long. You can do pre-cooling, which is let's go dual cooling right here. That way it's going to be much faster. So let's try doing this one. So that means, what that means is pretty much while, yeah, let's not use it, whatever. What that means is that it's gonna cool down the other engine while this one is started. All right.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
We'll wait until we're gonna get pushed fully, and then I'll start. What I'll do, I'll get the people sound kind of lower so you guys can hear better the engines and stuff like that. So we'll assume they're pretty quiet on this flight, alright? Set.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright. Wait until she's done. And you already hear how you've heard how the bags are coming off. We'll start number 2 first, so we'll set out here. I'll wait until she leaves because all that truck noise is just... I'll wait until it leaves. Alright, I see the pin. Okay, let's go ahead and start number 2. So it's gonna self-motor for a little bit, as you remember, until it starts spooling. Self-motoring. Come on. There you go. So they're pretty quiet, guys, as you might have noticed. I'll start the number 2 from here. Same thing, it's gonna cool down. The click from the cockpit and the reset of the system. And here comes the pack. Bring the flaps down. Slats. So from each seat out here, the sound's gonna be different as it is in the real world. So here's a little bit different here. A little bit different here. As well as we kind of walk through. So if you record, I give you a challenge, guys. If you fly on A320 or 321 Pratt & Whitney on the real world, please record the video, send it to me, and then compare it to this sound pack out here. But you'll find that it's exact the same as you hear it in a sim. Because all pitches, all volumes were measured, like the decibels were measured in the real world. Everything has been correctly measured, so it is sounding like it's supposed to be in the real world. Now, as far as packs, in reality, when you give a little thrust, the pack starts to get more air inside. You'll hear that bleed air coming in more, so like sort of a rush of air. You'll hear that here as well as when you lower the thrust, there will be less air. So that bleed air rush is made in here as well, and up, down, neutral, right and left, neutral. Same like all of my packs. $19, $19.99. 104 up. Okay. Up to start checklist. NTI is not recording. Status check. Pitch trim set. Rudder trim 0. And up to start checklist complete. Okay. Now, for the speciality of the Pratt and Whitney, as you might have noticed in the real world as well, it depends a lot of how you give thrust. You know that famous sound of howling in Pratt and Whitney and Neo. So it kind of gives that sound like woo, you know. I'll show you this. So it depends. It's louder probably here. Okay, so that depends a lot on how fast you give thrust, and it's gonna be playing either you won't hear it at all almost if you really move slowly, and if you move fast you'll hear it really loud. Okay, so let's check. I'll move real slow. You see, you don't hear that howling sound too much. Not at all, right? Now, if we were to move a little bit faster, check what happens. You heard it a little bit, right? Now even more faster. Right? Even more. And now real fast. As well as you hear that bassy sound of core, like the vibration for the engine. It comes from around 40 and 1 to like 60. So you'll hear that bassy sound. Pronounced here. Get the IAE and CFM. I don't think you understand of how my packs work. So each product sells separately. You don't get nothing on extra. It's just this one sound pack. All right. Let's go ahead and start texting. The new one, it's only Pratt & Whitney and A321. That's it. A321, Pratt & Whitney. That's it. The Leap version will come later, and it's gonna be as expansion for $10. As always, like expansion works. For the regular A319 and regular A321 CO versions, it will get updated with current system sounds as well, but it's going to be later. Currently, it's going to be released only Pratt & Whitney sound pack, yeah. I hope I I explained it. Oh, okay. Well, you're not losing anything. I mean, those packs are working as they are. It's just the improvement of them will be later, as far as system-wise. You can hear the cabin, taxiing sound, bumps. A little more. Yeah, Leap will be this year, guys. I can explain to you what happened is that lately I've been moving. There's a lot of personal life going on, so I didn't have enough time to do it. Now, since I'm gonna be moved, a whole bunch of new stuff will come out. This one pack will come out today. Then after I move, next week I'll try to publish the Flight Factor A320 update and IAE version expansion, and then we'll proceed with the Leap. The systems are all brand new in Pratt & Whitney here. They're all much better. Different samples, different features. I tend not to write about what's sounding. Put it this way: whatever sounds in real aircraft sounds here, because it's gonna be too long list to list all that stuff. And as you know, I mean, just to list all the system sounds is a lot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're number 1 for takeoff, cabin crew seats for departure. Okay, a few things as well. What's gonna happen during the takeoff roll? See, I want you guys to look for this stuff once we're gonna be, because it's gonna be happening fast. So I'm not gonna be able to tell things in the progress how they are, but you will look how they're gonna happen. Let me stop and I'll explain. Привет, Алексей. Yeah, the Leap is gonna be out there. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen, guys. Once we lined up on the runway, I'll go ahead and stabilize the engines at 50 and 1. You'll hear the rush of air. You'll hear like the ultrasonic sound for the turbines, fans on in front that comes with it. Then once it's gonna go to Toga, you'll hear the turbulent sound of air bouncing off of the ground, like a ground effect, and bouncing back into the fuselage. So you'll hear that bassy sound of takeoff. of course, that howling sound, as well as so anywhere you take off from here, it's gonna sound different, as well as it sounds in a real aircraft. Once we're gonna get going with speed of life, the panels will shake and produce sounds here in the cockpit, but panels sounds different, and in the cabin is kind of like overheads, and all that plastic stuff is gonna be shaking there. You'll hear, if you're steered down the middle of the runway on these lights, nose on those lights, you'll hear the thumps from the nose gear hitting those lights pretty pronounced. Once we take off, you're gonna hear like the vibrations, as well as the gear rolling sound. You'll hear it kind of rolling on tarmac and producing like the rubber vibration sounds, as well as kind of like a sound from all this surface, which is kind of like, you see, it got lines in there. So once we take off, I'll put the gear up. It's gonna be a hydraulic sound of gear coming up, a hydraulic sound of gear doors opening, the closing, like the thumps of closing and opening, like the wind whistle when it closes up, and then after we clear the ground, the engine, I mean the low bassy sound is gonna go away because the gear is up, the doors are closed, so you're only gonna hear the turbine, the fans, slightly of jet stream, just slightly. As well as soon as I gonna be airborne, as far as autopilot permits, I'll put on the autopilot so we can hear it from this perspective, because these engines are quiet. You don't hear them much in cockpit. Okay. As well as we'll start to hear like the outside ambient sounds. We're gonna be slightly off lights so we don't hear those thumps. Alright, you guys are ready? Once we take off, we'll fly direct Gandhi and climb 6,000. Okay guys, let me see the ready words in the chat. If you're ready. Ready, I can see one ready. Where's the rest? Let's go! Need more readies. The cabin is ready. Alright, let's go. we go. Trust set. SRS thrust loop. Middle left. We want rotate. Quasi fine. Gear up, lights up. And direct Gandhi. Flaps up. Let's get that level out sound out here as we accelerate to 250. So that wasn't a lot of thrust. You hear more thrust, you'll hear more. Now notice the bassy sound of level out. Jesus. Hear that bass? If I put out the lights, you'll hear all these extended lights coming out. There's gonna be less noise in cabin. Check this out. You hear how it's much more less noise? Those extended lights, they produce a lot of noise too. Alright, let's bring up to 250. There we go. Now, as we're gonna start to accelerate, you guys can hear the acceleration sound for the air around us hitting the fuselage. I'll let you hear from this position. So you can hear both cockpit and cabin. So all these surfaces out here, they produce drag, like the wings, they produce like the sound of the air, the fuselage itself, the tail section, all that good stuff. Area accelerating. A little bit turbulence on here. You can hear how it reacts. And in the cockpit, there's different story as well. See, when you go behind the wing, it's less noisy, kind of. A little bit more noise on the jet stream, but less noise on the wind. And the most quietest place is out here. And one more thing I can tell you. While we're passing through this dense air at lower altitudes and at a high speed like that, there will be much more wind sound. Once we get leveled out, if we would have chosen the flight level 330, 350, 370, it's less dense air over there. So there, the wind sound is not going to be that pronounced. So while you descend through the thick air, you'll have more sound of the air noise. Okay, BSS does such a great job with their sound packs. Thank you. Where will the sound pack be released? First at my store, Blue Sky Star Simulations. I mean, blueskystar.net. Then after the Memorial Day sale and explain, I'll throw that in the stores there as well and explain. Are you still planning on doing realistic sound setting and sim sound setting? That's it right here. That's the realistic one. This is why it's called Pro. So it comes with a Pro line for the red and wheat. first one was 330 pack. It's amazing at the time, but compared to the new packs, they're on a whole new level. That's correct. Yeah, that was my first pack. Perhaps later I will update those to get matched to that level, current level. So we might get a A330 PRO version as well. I'm planning on doing a lot of work since in my personal life things calm down, so I have more time to work. So that way, that's being said, I'll produce a lot of products, guys. I know I've been quiet for a little bit, so now stick around for the landing. It's gonna be awesome noises. Let's bring it down a little bit, explain. Okay. Now, as far as levels inside of your sim, if you have monitors, like speaker monitors, and regular motherboard, no extra amp or anything like that, I recommend to set explain volume in Windows at 40%. That way you'll hear like the real decibels inside of your cabin and cockpit. Meanwhile, while we're chilling over here, you'll hear like the toilet flushing, etc., people moving, talking. To be the explain is doing mistakes. Come on. To be honest, I think I speak on behalf of everyone here. I can't imagine the sim without your products. Sound is a massive part of the immersion, and this is what really gets the adrenaline going. Thank you very much for kind word. Myself, I do know that part about our 30% of perception in a sim is the sound. Sometimes by having it sound correctly, we can even smell it or feel it, you know, if you know what I mean. So it does give a lot of immersion to human brain. That's true, and knowing that part, I'm trying my best to 100% of my ability to make the sound packs sound exactly the same as the real world. So that way. Скажешь, звук охуенный релиз сегодня? Да. Спасибо. Okay, let's clear a few. We don't go as far as feedback. And we are at cruise level. Now here the air is still thick, sort of, at 25,000 feet. Sort of. Less thick than down below, but still kind of thick. If we were to go up to flight level 350 and have, for example, Mach 7.8, you guys would hear much less of air resistance. And here we're leveled out. You can hear that bassy sound. Alright, there's the top of the sand here. And let's do it. We're gonna get the jingle at 8,000 here. So I believe we're a little bit high. Alright, let's go ahead and start the descent. And you can hear it's leveling down, throttling down. That familiar sound. You guys probably know it, right? The vibration. And it's still throttling at 40%, so I'll show you a little bit of speed brake. I like it myself, guys. I seriously, without any back thought, I'm enjoying it myself currently. Alright, let's get the weather. And you know how I always said that if I don't like it myself, I will not release it. This is why a lot of people were like, when, just release it. Oh, he's never gonna release it. I'd rather wait and have it all perfect than release some crap, you know. Perhaps releasing crap has been a common thing lately. As you know, with a lot of stuff of Microsoft 2020. But truly, I don't want to release farts and something that I don't like. Alright, let's do a radio out of this. And we're transitioning to 18,000 level. Transition level 9 or 6. So at that moment after the stream, I'll go ahead and publish it in my store, so just give it like an hour or so before it uploads, and there you will find it, the version of that sound. And perhaps like Tuesday, one of these days, we're gonna have it at Explainador. Currently in Explainador, because it's a 30% sale, so all of my products have the 30% off in Explain, but I don't want to get this product in so it does not reflect that 30% off stuff. So just make sure you grab it You help me a lot if you buy from my store. It's that our company doesn't have to pay tax to the Explain.org store, or if you want to get it from Explain.org, you can as well. Wait for, but then you will have to wait for a couple more days. Those of you who know me already, they got used to this kind of a procedure, as that when we first release at Blue Sky Star site, and then we proceed with Explain.org. Okay. Alright, let's get that approach checklist. Briefing confirmed, we can status check, seatbelts on, barrel set, MDA set, engine mode select on normal. Approach checklist complete. If you guys are new on this channel, at Twitch or YouTube, I stream occasionally. Today is a promo version of stream, so we're kind of flying relaxed and more concentrated on the sounds. But usually what we do is we stream SOP, standard operating procedures, for multiple planes such as 737 type, A320, MD-80, Dash 8. So being real world pilot, I take those things seriously, so when we fly, it's a lot of useful information out here, as well as soon I'm gonna launch a product for training, personal training, for those who want to get intermediate or advanced in the simulator and knowing the type, knowing the aviation mentality, and a lot of stuff will be covered. So personal trainings will go for $20 per hour, and it's one-to-one training based on Discord or Skype or etc. And at that time I bring you all my knowledge, real-world aviation knowledge, as well as the type knowledge, and help you fly beautifully, correctly, and have a good time at it, and plus have a lot of new knowledge. All right, we're settling it down over here, so you'll hear that sound is coming on. Slowing down to 250. Slowing down to 250. It's 10,000 feet. Much more quiet in here. Let's put out the landing lights, and you'll hear that sound coming in. They do produce a lot of noise, a lot of drag noise. Down to 2,500. Let's get more of that speed brake. To get back on profile. Speed descent now. Let's keep it at 230 here as we descend. Straight in approaches like that, you gotta prepare earlier. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Getting dark here out in Florida. Сказочный звук, охуенно, релиз свой. А, это уже было? Чат. Чат. It's gonna start descending after Jerem. You'll hear that bassy power down soon. There you go. Okay. Far. Озвучка касания основных стоек шасси есть, просто из экспреалистик надо, как принимаю, все звуки будут включать. Да, надо будет включать, все есть, все есть. The question in chat was, does it have the touchdown sound for the mains and front? Yeah, mains and front have touchdown sound, and actually depends on how hard you land. So there's light touchdown, there's medium, there's hard, as well as nose too. So guys, everything you hear in a real plane is gonna be here. And all these questions that you ask about, is this sound is present? If it's present in real aircraft, it's present here. Flap 1. Check. Speed to 20. Then you'll hear that drag sound from the slats. And let's drag some more with this speed brake. Down to S speed. approach. Armed. Localized capture. Few bumps on the way down. The only thing that's not made currently is turbulence sounds, as far as shaking of the panels in turbulent conditions, but that's gonna come in one of the updates. There we go, leveling out. Lap 2 speed check. Speed 180. Hear the drag from flap 2. You hear that ultrasonic sound of Pratt and Whitney. Glide slope. That's 2,000 feet. Hear it coming down. You'll hear a lot of drag from that. Speed manage. Lap 3. Even more drag. Laps full. Alright. Lady checklist down 3 greens. No blue. Laps full. Stable. The clicking sound, it was the noise of my hardware, so don't mind that. It's the crappy... Oops. It's the crappy pedestal that I bought. Alright, we'll shut down from the outside one of the engines. Okay. Now you can smell the sound. Tell me if you smell the sound. As well as this. The brake fan. And then you hit that switch below. That will activate the deboarding sound. We can also hit econ flow. If you guys want a replay for the outside, I can do that. Not sure if it's gonna be with open doors or not, but we can try. We can try. I don't know if the data refs are acting correctly on the replay. Probably not. You know the drill. Hear the tarmac sounds. we park here, I guess? Where do we park? Or here, maybe. Oh, here. Some van is already here. Move it up. Yeah, exact good parking, huh? Each tire on a mark. Oh, so you see, the data refs sometimes they don't recognize what's going on because explain the sounds are using data refs and the data refs at replay they don't quite work a lot of times. So don't manage. All right, so let's shut it down and then I'll go ahead and publish it in the store so you guys. All right. Let's get the ground control in. Cool down cycle until the APU cycles cooling down to shut down. I think it's around 40 seconds to 1 minute cooldown. We'll fully shut down, I'll end the stream, and then I'll release. So from you, all you need to do for this video is put thumbs down. Don't ever share it to your friends. And write how bad this sound pack is made. Shut down. Okay, I think that's it. Somebody's still talking in the background. All right, I already click like and share with my friends. Too bad. Undo it. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for the release on Org Store. That would be next week after the Memorial Day. So give it. Today's what? Today's Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think it's going to be around either Monday or Tuesday there, depending on how fast the Org Store reacts. But they have a sale right now on 30% off for all the products as well as mine. All of my products are for sale, 30% off currently in Org Store. But for me to publish there, I'd like to keep it separate a little bit. So we'll wait until the sale for Memorial Day in Org Store finishes, and then we'll publish it over there. Meanwhile, the pack will be available in few, like in 1 hour or so, until let me get it published there in this store, in my store. And okay, so I hope you had a good time. I hope you like what you heard and saw. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit like buttons, share to your friends, etc. Hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever you have at your own location, and be safe and healthy. Always yours, Comrade, Blue Sky Star Simulations. See you guys. Goodbye.